We learn something about electromyography. Some question of electromyography. Actually, electromyography is a technique to evaluate the muscular activities. So there is some basic questions. The first question: what does EMG stand for? Is that electromechanical gauges? Is that electromyogram, electrical muscle scap, or electromechanical graphs? So electromechanical graph or muscular electrical muscle graphs and electromechanical gauge is not the all answer. The right answer is electro EMG is stand for electromyography or electromyogram. What is the primary purpose of using EMG in research and clinical settings? As earlier said that electromyography is the technique to evaluate the muscular activity. So here option A is the to measure heart rate, to record brain activity, to evaluate muscle electrical activity, to track joint movements. Yet option A is to measure heart rate. There is no relation in heart rate in electromyography. And brain signal activity, actually brain signal activity is measured by the EEG, electroencephalography. And to track joint movement is not the answer. The right answer is that to evaluate muscles activity. So option C is the right answer. So which of the following is component is essential for surface electromyography? There is surface electromyography. There is surface electromyography. Actually, EMG, we can measure EMG in two ways. First one is invasive, and second one is the non-invasive way. Here, the invasive way, we need a needles electrode also. For the surface electromyography, we need the skin electrodes. So here option is say that right answer is skin mounted electrodes, which is the typically used to express EMG amplitude. If you want to measure electromyographical amplitude of a particular muscle, so we got a units of amplitude. So what is it actually? What is related to the powers, and newtons is related to the powers also, and decibel is related to the sounds. So millivolt is the correct answer. What kind of signal does raw EMG produce? Here is the raw EMG produce is the smooth sine waves, a random spike, and a flat line, and a square waves. The square wave is not answer. Its flat line is not answer. The smooth sine wave is not answer. If you go into the left scribe software, so there is a some spike we got from the muscular activities. Actually, it is called also amplitudes. So option B is the right answer to a random series of spike. What is the purpose of EMG signal rectifications? So rectification is required for what? For to reduce noise and signals, to make all values negative, to convert the signal into positive value for the analysis, and to amplify the frequencies. There is option. Actually, all options are related to the EMG, electromyography. The first option, you could go to the first option, the noise from the signals. Noise from the signals. Actually, you have to reduce noise from the signals, because if noise occurs there, then electromyographical amplitude will be different, will not actual. To make overall values negative, if you want to all values negative, there is options. Go to the and amplify the frequency. You have to amplify the frequencies for the correct results. But yeah, rectification is related to the convert signal into positive values for the analysis. That we supposed to measure only positive values of the electromyographical amplitudes. What does term RMS refer in EMG signals? Actually, rectify muscle signals. Rectify muscle signal. That means all negative value converted into the positive value. Rodman squared and resistance measure scores and regularize mean signal. Regularize mean signals and rectified muscle signal and resistance muscle score is not the abbreviated from. A root mean squares is abbreviated from, or RMS is abbreviated from root mean square. By root mean square, we have to measure the overall muscle activity related to the brain signals, related to the nervous systems. And which of the following factor can affect the EMG qualities? Electrode placement, skin impedance, muscles fatigues. Actually, electrode placements occur the below belly of those muscles. Skin impedance, it's that mean the skin overall the skin preparations, and muscles fatigues can reduce the EMG signals. So all options can influence for the EMG signals qualities. What is the frequency? Earlier says the frequency ones. The you have to pre-decided the EMG frequencies. So what frequency range is typically analyze and surface EMG signals is 0 to 5 hertz, 10 to 500 hertz, and 1000 to 5000 hertz, and 5000 to 10,000 hertz. So if you go through the CENM guidelines, CENM's protocols of EMG signal, there is a written there. So if you want to correct EMG signals, correct EMG amplitude from a particular muscle, so you have to decide it 10 to 500 hertz of frequencies. So which software commonly used to EMG signal acquisitions? There is software you have to install in your computers to um, acquisitions of the signals. So there is a lots of there is a various types of softwares. One MATLAB, Celebscribe, Acknowledgement, and all of them use for the electromyographical signal measurements. So we supposed to use the lab scribes. Thank you so much for participating.